Well, hey folks, Real Honesty with Jonn Ritland. The Derb is over there flipping me off in mission control. And a little bit of a rapid fire here. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a very long rant, but let's go, watch it go like 20 minutes. So let's just start off with the whole backlash, not backlash to pay-per-view, because that was a whole nother rant. Check out our review, by the way, it was pretty popular.
It's trash, it's trash, it's trash, it should be dead.
I like that. So let's just focus on the backlash for the Bobby Lashley, Sami Zayn, Bobby's Sisters segment. I want to say right now, I'm not going to fault Bobby Lashley. He did the best he could. He's probably just like, oh, God, Vince is punishing me for leaving 10 years ago. And I want everybody, just look at this face. Look at this face. Look at this face. That's the exact face that I made while this whole segment was going on. That and the fact that I wanted to eviscerate Vince McMahon. Eviscerate, if you will. Or
I
just...
will not.
There we go. Or eviscerate Kevin Dunn. In fact, I think that would be better. So, and by the way, check out the Raw review. You could hear me scream in the first minute. I, again, deeply apologize, to those of you who had working eardrums before that. So, okay. You had three guys play, that were in drag playing the sisters. Not going to fault these guys. Not going to fault Sami Zayn. You could see on Zayn's face he hated this whole thing. But this is what bothers me. And Derb touched on it in the Raw review. You want the Attitude Era back, folks? Well, here's the bad stuff from the Attitude Era. And this was very Attitude Era-like. This was like if Russo had booked it. The problem is the people in the ring, including the sisters that were played by brothers, could actually work better than Russo ever could, and could probably book better than Russo ever could. And I'm going to get to Russo here in a second. Look. WWE needs to apologize to the LGBT community, or as Styles would put, the gay community, because Styles will never live that down.
Because he's from Georgia.
He also believes the earth is flat.
Because he's from Georgia.
Oh God, that's because the lead that they had wasn't flat. 28-3 lead. I will never let that go. But, come on. Like, look, by the way, the earth isn't flat. Look, the whole point of this is WWE needs to apologize to those that they offended. Now, yes, it's a television program, sitcoms, movies, stuff like that. Do things where they can offend, different races, people in the LGBT community, people that are mentally handicapped, people that have mental illness. But if done the right way, comedy, even if it's offensive, isn't going to trigger that many people. It'll trigger somebody because, unfortunately, in this society, there are so many SJWs. It's crazy. But this is an SJW situation. This was pure trash. This was really bad. Vince, honestly, if people had left the arena during this, I wouldn't have faulted them. But with those high ticket prices, they were probably thinking, nope, if Roman Reigns is in the main event, we'll leave. That's probably what's going to keep happening. This was bad. This was really, really explosively bad, and it actually made me embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. It did. It's like, okay, I'm proud of being a wrestling fan, but I saw this, and I'm just like, really? So if I had shown somebody this, take this out of context, show somebody this, hey, I'm watching WWE, and they watch this segment, they'll be like, don't ever talk to me again. That means
you watch a thing with shirtless men and people in drag? What is this, Bravo?
Heidi Klum. I like it a lot. Oh, wait, that's her on America's Got Talent. Which is ironic since Klum kind of doesn't have talent. Moving on. I'm sorry, guys, but just, if you found it funny, great. I don't know how you found it funny, but whatever. If you're defending it, saying, oh, people should get over it. WWE's doing this thing with Finn Balor, where Balor Club is for everyone, the whole, the rainbow colors of the LGBT community. And, okay, 20% of the proceeds or 25% of the proceeds of all those shirts sold are going to go to GLAAD. If you don't know what GLAAD is, Google it. And if you don't know what Google is, you're probably a Trump supporter and don't know what the internet is.
You'd be surprised.
I'd be surprised about Trump supporters or what GLAAD is.
Not that they know what the internet is.
That's good.
Think about it.
They do. Well, okay, they know what the...
Stop thinking about it and move on.
Yes. Here's the whole thing. If you're going to partner with GLAAD, and you employed Darren Young for a number of years, Darren Young would have been fired years ago if he hadn't come out as gay. That's not knocking Darren Young, but he was a mid-card worker that wasn't going to ever be anything more. him coming out as gay, and it's good that he did. Great for him, and I wish him all the best. Not just in his future endeavors, whatever he decides to do. Because he seems like a good guy. But then you do this kind of segment where it just sets everything ablaze, including the Saudi Arabia show that you did, where look, the Crown Prince, and I've ranted about that before, and check out my review, if you want. Durban and I have talked about it. The Crown Prince is trying to push for positive change. It's hard to do that when you have a bunch of people that are all backwoods thinking guys waving swords living in the 1500s. But there are some people that want positive change. This didn't help though. You need to cater to as many fans as possible, and if you turn off a segment of the audience, you got Sonya Deville and you got other people I'm sure that are gay or bi that are in your company. I don't know about any. Let me know on Twitter if you know any, or let me know in the comments. Let me know in DM if you don't want to expose them. Gross. But guys, this was not good. This was really bad. This is the worst segment of 2018. Period. Worse than Backlash. This actually felt like Backlash. This made Backlash seem good. By comparison. I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. So that's all I gotta say about that one. Now, we're gonna move on to WWE extending pay-per-views by an hour at least. Because we need more wrestling like Backlash, because Backlash wasn't long enough. Now let's add an hour. Co-branded pay-per-views, lots of talent, I totally get that, but the longest takeover was 3 hours. That was TakeOver New Orleans. It felt it. They could have cut it down a little, even though it flowed really well, and even though it was one of the best takeovers that they've had. I know it's all about money. $1 billion over 5 years by Fox to get SmackDown. When SmackDown ain't even worth $50 million a year. I'm sorry, but it ain't. But whatever, Fox wants to piss away money. They've been pissing away money on The Simpsons for years, so WWE needs to cater to get good ratings, get casual fans back in, and not just the hardcore fans. Fans like me, the Durable watch also, I mean, especially if we're reviewing the stuff. But there are casual fans that will watch it. If they watch something like the Lashley segment, or watch something like Stephanie McMahon, be the dumb cunt that she is, and sorry, she is.
Alexa Bliss, This Is Your Life segment?
The Old Days segment. Anything with the Authority from 2013 to 2015. Any of that stuff. Or watch Sting lose at WrestleMania 31 for no goddamn reason.
HLA!
To be fair, Bischoff was having fun with that, and I like Bischoff, even if I don't agree with him politically. I like Bischoff. But here's the deal, guys. Why do we need more wrestling when they're barely doing anything with the 3 hours that they have? The 3 hours of Raw, when they moved to SmackDown and moved to Fox for SmackDown in 2019. Possibility of 3 hours of SmackDown? Now, granted, that's a year and a half away, so whatever. We don't need more TV, we need less. It's all about ad revenue and it's all about money. I get that.
The third hour should be 205 live.
The third hour should be 205 live. I like your way of thinking. The first hour should be 205 live, actually. Seriously, kick it off hot. Do it, or have the second hour be 205 live. And for this reason, that's what WCW did when it was 3 hours, when Nitro was 3 hours. They were on at the 9 o'clock hour to keep people from tuning away. But we don't need longer pay-per-views. Now, they are cutting some pay-per-views. They aren't having 2 a month in most months. But they are going to do another Saudi Arabia show, a Chile live event in December, which means it's going to be really cold. I don't know, they'll do one in Peru next, I guess. I mean, whatever. Hey, you know what? Those are great for those fans, seriously. South American fans are very passionate. Unfortunately, going through a lot of hardships, especially here in Venezuela, and I'm deeply sorry for that. But we don't need more shows on the network. We need a few less. You have enough content as it is. If you want to do live special, the fact that they didn't put Starrcade on the network and now they're going to do all this stuff is ridiculous. Extend the pay-per-views, make the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it is about money. Derbzoon over there. It is about money, and I get that. The stock's going to rise up. Everything's going to do better. The product's going to suffer because we have a stubborn old man that doesn't care. We have Kevin Dunn, who is like an angry beaver if an angry beaver was inbred for about 5 generations. And not nearly as entertaining.
So like the cartoon Angry Beavers?
Essentially, but Angry Beavers had its moments.
Where so WWE.
Well, this is true. Okay. I guess the comparisons actually do add up. So here's the whole point, guys. Why in the world does anyone think that longer pay-per-views are a good idea? Now, Rumble, SummerSlam, Mania, Survivor Series, I get it. They're only doing 5 takeovers a year. They need to get back to where they only do 9 pay-per-views a year. If they want to have the Saudi Arabia show and stuff like that, good. Do that kind of stuff. But longer pay-per-views are not the answer, unless you're going to have more compelling feuds. And sorry, Reigns versus Jinder is not the way to go. Keeps him out of the title picture, which he never deserved to be in, by the way. I'm not talking about Reigns, I'm talking about Jinder. And if anybody says, oh yeah, Jinder, it was something different, something refreshing, fans want something different. We wanted Zayn, Owens, Braun, somebody to be in the title picture. Not this fucking jobber that's probably juicing on something. Not
Back
just...
crash. End of the syringe.
The modern day Maharaj. I don't know why I'm making him sound like Arnold. Modern day Maharaj.
I mean, to be fair, Arnold Schwarzenegger can speak with just about as efficient Indian accent as Jinder Mahal can.
Oh God, when he was in Conan. I mean, I know he was supposed to be Indian. You killed my mother, my father, my family. Yeah. I can't really do that. So anyway, guys, this is the reason why WWE is going to have. They're going to get all the money in the world, but why only hardcore fans are going to tune in? They aren't listening to the fans. Less is more. But as long as they keep getting the revenue streams, unfortunately, they're going to keep going. I just hope the talents get paid accordingly, that the women get paid accordingly. The women deserve to be paid. I'm not saying just as much as the men, but they deserve to be paid more. Okay? More than they have been. Emma was only earning about $90,000 to $100,000 a year. Now, I know she was injured, but Emma was pretty damn over. They need to do better by the women. They need to do better booking the women. Have an all-women's pay-per-view at some point in October. Instead of Hell in a Cell, instead of the obligatory Hell in a Cell, hey, we got this feud, let's put Hell in a Cell on. Have it be the women. Have the women be in Hell in a Cell.
That's a bad idea because Vince is just going to call it the once a month.
So you're saying it will cramp their style?
Exactly.
Okay. This is true, though. Vince would do that, by the way. But they do need to have an all-women special. Stretch it out and have an all 205 Live special at some point, which I will talk about booking at some point. And oh, by the way, to wrap up, if Cena and Nikki Bella did their breakup all for publicity and Total Divas ratings, you're both scumbags, and if you're together and things go bad, I don't feel bad for either of you. Cena, I don't feel bad for you. You have millions of dollars. Nikki, if he's not giving you what you want, here's an idea, you idiot. Don't fucking stay with him. That's advice to everybody. If you're with somebody that isn't going to give you what you want, don't fucking stay with them. I don't care if there's kids involved. You can find somebody that will help you out. And I'm not saying you take you on as a charity case. Seriously, guys, stop it. Get some help. So anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, comment, subscribe, Twitter link. And that's about it in the description. It's been Real Honesty with Jonn Ritland, the Derb over Mission Control.
Alright, guys.
Back for SmackDown. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I have no idea either.
Okay.